Hey everybody, welcome back. So glad you're joining me today. Today I am making another card for Pixi Dust Designs featuring the Cozy Winter die set. This die set is amazing. There are so many options in the set for you to mix and match with the different the hats. You can do different patterns for the hats, and I believe the scarf has different patterns as well. Well, you could do a solid scarf or you can do the striped scarf. But the hats have a couple different options, actually 3 different options for the hats. And then there's some different options that you can do with the gloves, and then the little strings on the hats if you wanted to add that with the little pom-poms on the end. So lots of different things you can do with this set. And it's an amazing value with 39 dies in it. So, and I think you could, really you could probably use these with some of your other sets from Pixi Dust Designs as well. So I am basically just cutting a ton of these out using some different cardstocks from my stash. I did grab a red matte foil cardstock, a white glitter cardstock, and a teal cardstock. And I've cut a bunch of those out, and I'm also going to use some Pixi Dust Designs paper. This is from the new release paper pad from the Gingerbread set. So I'm using some of that paper as well. I'm using the blue plaid from that. And I have used one of my embossing folders from my stash, and I have embossed that with some Neenah 110 pound cardstock. And I'm just playing around with my placement. I've cut the blue plaid cardstock down using the postage stamps and postage stamp dies from my stash. I did have to modify those a little bit. And with my embossed background, I am using some pigment ink. It's a shimmery pigment ink. It's almost a white or a cream color. And I am just hitting that with a brayer, and I am rolling that over my background to make it pop a little bit more. It'll have a little bit of shimmer in the raised areas. And I'm going to set that aside to dry. I did heat set it a little bit in the end because it wasn't quite dry. I'm going to put that, add that to my background. It's an A2 size piece of matte red cardstock. And then I'm going to work on getting my postage stamp pieces added. I've added a little piece of iridescent vellum to the back of each one of those. I felt like that helped it kind of stand apart from the background. They kind of got lost a little bit before with the snowflake background, so I thought that the iridescent vellum helped them pop a little bit more on this background. And I will add dimensional foam to the back of both of those just to pop them up a little bit. Again, help them stand out from the background. The background is, even though it's white, it's still a little bit busy, so I thought that this would help kind of make things pop off the page a little bit. And for each of my, for my scarf, I did a couple different inlays of red and glitter cardstock on the scarf, and then obviously the red matte foil cardstock behind the different hat, the snowflake hat. So a lot of different options again with this set. You can do so many things with it. With your different cardstock, or even if you wanted to color something, you could do white cardstock on the background and then do some different color snowflakes. If you wanted to get really crazy with it, you could probably even do a glitter paste with it, which would be really fun. Here I am just using a T-ruler to make sure I get these little background pieces adhered evenly. I tend to not get things so even, so I use all the help I can get. And then I'm going to play with my placement a little bit more, and now I'm going to cut out the sentiment, Let It Snow. I kept my die for this all together as one piece instead of cutting it apart because I was afraid I might lose the it. So it's just easier to cut it all at once. So I've cut that from some silver glitter. It's a textured glitter cardstock I had in my stash. And then I've cut some additional layers of each word from some Neenah 110 pound cardstock. I did this instead of adding foam because the letters are pretty fine and dainty, and it would be really difficult to add foam behind them. So I thought this would be a good way to build up some layers for these words and give them a little bit more dimension on my card. So I'm just gluing those together and then setting them under my glass block to dry. And then working on where I'm going to place everything on my card panel once I have everything set up. I originally thought that I could split it over the two pieces, but I think I liked it better this way. I just needed to move my mittens up a little bit more and it worked out perfectly. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue a white pom-pom from my stash to the top of the hat. I did have to trim the cardstock down a little bit so that it wouldn't show underneath the pom-pom, so I just basically cut it into a little bit of a circle. And then I'm going to glue that on there, and I will use some reverse tweezers to hold it in place while it dries. Here I am gluing the top layer on my sentiment. So it'll have this really pretty textured silver foil. I kind of love this cardstock, and I do not know where I got it. I apologize. I will look and see if I can find something close. I think it came in a kit, and I've had it forever. So I have been using it sparingly because I don't have much left. Hoarding it. So I'm just fluffing up my pom-pom a little bit. And now I'm going to get these words glued into place. I waited to glue my images until the very last thing because I wasn't sure where they were going to end up having to go with my sentiment here. So just a little bit of glue on each of these. And the nice thing is the it in the sentiment doesn't have, it's lowercase, so it doesn't have, I believe it's called a tittle, the T-I-T-T-L-E, the little dot over the I. So you don't have to worry about having to glue that because it would be really tiny. It's the little things that we appreciate as crafters, right? Adding just a tiny more glue to that, trying to get that pom-pom to stay in place. And now I'm going to add some tape. It's double-sided tape to the back of my mittens. I didn't use any dimensional foam on these. I figured everything else had enough dimension. And then I'll add just a tiny bit of glue to the bow. Even though I won't really need it, but it's so cute. I love the teal and the red together. I think that's my color choice for winter this year. So pretty. I am going to cut down a piece of Neenah 110-pound cardstock to use for my card base. And it's going to be a side folding card, but I'm going to cut it the long way, so it'll be a long side folding card. I'm just scoring that with my score pal, and I'm going to make sure that I get a crisp fold on that, and then I will add that to my card base. I did use a little bit of dimensional foam for this, so everything gets popped up. And I'm just going to remove the release tape. I was trying to be smart and do the partial release tape removal so I could get things lined up, but it wasn't working out. So I'm going to use my score pal and just try to get this lined up and put it on the card base. And that is a look at my finished card. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please be sure to click like and subscribe to get notified of all of our content. Thank you so much.